We're back on the hub dyno with Mark's VT. I just couldn't let it sit. We tried out the Truck Norris. We compared it to the Stage 1, and I just went, you know what? Let's get a Stage 2 V2 and let's just see how it stacks up to the Stage 1. Because I know people are going to come on and say, hey guys, have you compared the Stage 2 to the Stage 1? And let's make sure my microphone's on, sorry. Yes, it is. So, yeah, I thought, you know what, let's get it in. Window opened up, opportunity presented itself, and let's do it. So if you have a look on our spec side of things, so the Stage 1 camshaft is a 217, 230X, 615, 636, 113 lobe set, and that's the BTR Stage 1 version 2. If you come across to their Stage 2 version, it's a 221, 230X, 624, 636 on a 112. So slightly tighter on the lobe set, slightly more, more lift on the intake and more on the intake as well, so duration. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's a lot bigger than the Stage 1. So I'm not expecting miracles from this camshaft, but it does have its place on who and what you'd use it on. So, my initial impression was it wasn't going to make much of a difference at all. And look, I was pretty close to that assumption. However, when you look into it and dissect it more, there are reasons why. And I guess this is where we go to the dyno sheet and actually talk about the figures, and let's dissect it right down to where it is. So, red line is the Stage 1 camshaft. Blue line is their Stage 2 camshaft. Both version 2, and you can see here, these are the peak power figures. So, in the grand scheme of things, you would say, waste of time, don't need it. And you'd also take note that, yes, the Stage 1 makes more low down torque than the Stage 2. Now, that is expected. As you go bigger in the camshaft, you're obviously going to lose bottom end torque. You're shifting the power curve across to the right. Now, this camshaft is bigger, not by a lot, but it's bigger. And as you'd expect, that's exactly what it would do. So, when you look at the power curves, what has happened to the overall graph? The blue graph, you can see it's shifted across. The torque has shifted, meaning less torque off the bottom, less power off the bottom. However, we've picked up 350, 400 of extra RPM. We're now making power past 7,000, where the other camshaft was about 6650. So, depending on you, the customer, which is the right cam for you, I'm going to say street car, Stage 1. Street car, more cylinder head, more compression, Stage 2. Or you could look at it this way and go, track car, going to rev it all the time, I want the extra RPM in the top, Stage 2. I don't care what it does in the bottom. I don't care that I've lost a little bit of torque in the bottom. I want all my power in my usable RPM range. So, a circuit car that's going to be in the higher end of the RPM range, who wants that extra RPM and they require it, then yes, the Stage 2. If you've got a drag car, you've got an automatic transmission, decent sized converter, it's going to do that. That's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to hold the RPM and torque higher in the rev range, allowing you to RPM it more, meaning more mile an hour, faster trap speeds, etc. But on the street, well, you're not going to hold it to 7,000 revs everywhere you go. So that's where the Stage 1 cam is, in my opinion, the better of the pick if you have a box stock LS1 and you're going to throw just the cam at it. However, if you are deciding about going down the cylinder head path or perhaps building an engine later, then the Stage 2, I would say, would be the smarter alternative. And the reason why is because it gives you that scope to make more power in higher RPM ranges. So hopefully you're following along with what I'm trying to say. Because I'm not discrediting or talking down on the Stage 2, it has its place in the market. However, I feel for the average street guy, I think the decision's quite easy which way you're going to go. The Stage 1 cam is a very good package. And let's not forget, standard stall converters on the stage 1 cam. The stage 2 cam, you're sort of getting on the edge of the converter. You can actually feel it. Luckily, Mark's car has got a set of Harrops on it, Harrop brakes, so it does help with clamping. Holds a car a little bit nicer, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, if you've got zero intentions of doing cylinder heads, adding more compression, or perhaps building an engine, or possibly going slightly more on the cubes, bring it up to a 6 litre or whatever, then the stage 1 cam is obviously the way to go. So, however, if you watched our other video and you saw the comparison from the Truck Norris to the stage 1, well, that's another story again. So I guess you just need to, you really, like the moral, and you'll see I drum on about this all the time, is that you really got to think about your overall combination and usage of the vehicle. It plays a big, massive role. So if you're going to book in with us, you're going to call me and you say, hey, Stuffy, I want to do a camshaft build on my LS1. How much is it? You know what I mean? Or what parts are you going to use? Well, then my question is going to be to you is what are you going to use it for? How do you drive it? Are you an absolute flogger where you just flog it around the streets everywhere you go? Or are you someone who only revs it halfway? There are so many questions and answers that need to be dealt with before you can just go, that's the camshaft, because there is no right or wrong. It all comes down to your exact combination. So hopefully you're following along with this one. Did I want to see more power out of the stage 2? Yeah, I would have liked to, and it's a lot of work for me to do back-to-back testing on the same car in one day. You can imagine I've got to pull the cam out in, hot engine, water, oil everywhere. So it's a lot of effort to get to where we are today. But at the end of the day is that, if we don't do these sort of tests, we don't actually know the right answer. And when you ask us now, or we can validate what exactly camshaft is right for you. This stage 2 camshaft with a bit of extra cubes and a bit more cylinder head, and I think it's going to come into its own. But you really cannot beat the stage 1 BTR. That's a ripper of a camshaft, and my favourite right now is the Truck Norris too. So check out the previous video. You can make your own assumption on what you prefer, which suits you, obviously. So, but I hope you've enjoyed the last two videos we've just made on the BTR stuff. I'm very happy with what we've done. I'm happy with what we've learned. I feel like the information is as accurate as it can possibly be. And some people might chime in here and say, oh, the stage 2 would have made more power if you had to do this and that. But the fact of the matter is that we're dealing here with a stock LS1 with an over the radiator intake with a set of tri-Y extractors, twin 2.5-inch exhaust through an automatic transmission on a stock converter, and we are comparing apples with apples on the same vehicle. Yes, if we were to change the manifold and change throttle bodies and all that sort of stuff, there are gains to be made. However, apples with apples, so it's not worth changing things to overcompensate for something that's lost power, So we're just comparing camshaft changes with other camshaft changes, and I feel like the information is informational, and I've learnt a lot. My eyes have opened up a little bit more, all the years we've been doing this stuff, and I've just learned something new, in this process. So I hope you guys learned something new, and I hope it helps you make a decision on what camshaft you decide to pick. But yeah, Truck Norris gets my vote. However, the stage 1 camshaft, it sounds pretty good, drives pretty good, makes good power on the top end. Stage 2 camshaft, well, a bit more engine, and it'll be primo. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye.